Carlos Hernandez. This video is for the Module 12 Lab for Emerging Technologies. The topic is about Google Analytics, that I think is a great tool to track all the data and use some really useful information about the app. We are using the Firebase demo project. I mean, it's the Fluid app for Android and iOS. It's a sample project. In the project overview, we have for the crash-free user, we can see it's a little bit better in iOS. And we have other metrics like the hosting, database usage, and storage. Also, we have the Crashlytics with more information about the issues that our app could have. And also we have the analytics dashboard with a lot of data about the behavior, mainly about the user. First of all, we have here that we have 67k users. We can change the period time, and I will put last 30 days. Yes. We need to know that this data is for all the version, but for this lab we need to know the difference between Android and iOS, so I will add a comparison. We search for a dimension and we can select platform. We'll add Android, apply, and I can add as a second comparison, and now I will select iOS. That's it. We have a really useful comparison between well, actually we have all the user and we have divided by Android and iOS. We can see that most of them, our users is in Android. 10,000 only, or around 10,000 is not in Android. We have 4.5 thousand users in iOS. Is around it less than the 10% for Android, and also there is a web app here, but we are not tracking data, or we are not comparing that data. That's the difference. What else? This is the user in the last 30 minutes. We have the user per day in all the platforms, and also in Android and iOS. Here this is the version that we have different version in Android, and we have different version in iOS. Here we can see that in Android, for example, this version in the last day has been more used. In iOS it's a little bit different. Only the latest version is almost the unique version that the user are in working on. So the engagement, we have the engagement time here. Is the engagement in iOS is much more higher, around between 10 and 13 minutes for Android is around uh, between 3 and 4 minutes. It's much better in iOS. And the user retention, um, we can see it's almost the same. In the first day we have, well, at the beginning, for starting in this 100%. At the next day, the day one, in is only 9%. uh, it sounds much lower, but I think most of the apps is similar. For Android, the next is 10.2, and for iOS is 27. This is a little bit different. It's more drastical in Android. It's a little bit more detail about that. Um, Here we have some the screens, the time in the screens, events. This is a comparison between the screen view is with the previous data. Here we have revenue. It's very important, of course. We can see here that um, most of the revenue are coming from iOS platform, for iOS app. We have the average purchase revenue per user. Uh, this is very important. It's too slow. It's too short, because we have a lot of users and only $21. So it's almost zero. We can see. Finally, we have a little bit about the user distribution. About talking about the country. For example, we have for if we compare Android, we have the main market is India, and for iOS is the United States, followed by Japan and Canada. Uh, of course, there are a lot of difference between these countries, and Android is more used in India, and in Bangladesh. I mean, Asia is a really big market, and for iOS is more like um, United States and Europe. So we can see that. I think that's all. The last, we have the user by device model. This um, interesting. Also, we have the new users, and we have the value, and we if it gets better or is down. So basically, there are a lot of info that we can use. Also, there are we can move to Google Analytics. We can create reports. This is for an app we are creating for um other course. Of course, we don't have any data yet, but we can engagement. We can see in detail the monetization, like in app purchase or ads. I think this is a very useful tool, and I mean is you can start using it for free, and that's perfect to track all the topics about your app. And I think that's all. Thank you.